Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today is another vlog style video, as you can see. And yeah, I just decided to go out into the woods. You can see beautiful greenery. It's a bit cloudy, but no wind, no sun, just very mild, very perfect. And I decided I'm just gonna go trade in the woods. But for this video, I'm just gonna be making the trade recap in the woods. So I'm just walking to the location where I want to sit down. I think I'm gonna make a separate video on top of this as I'm walking there as well, called my conflicting thoughts about trading, because guys, as you saw in the title, it's another loss for me. This is a third loss in a row. The previous video about a trade recap I made was a loss. Then I made another loss which I didn't even log or record because I was just too angry, too frustrated, just doubting everything. And you know, to think that I've been doing this for a couple years, that these things go away, but it's definitely numbed down and you get used to losses. But when there's so much pressure on it, for example, I just recently passed my $50,000 account for the first time on futures, and it's a live trading account, and there's so much pressure on it to just try and get your first payout. It's really frustrating. Once you've had your first couple payouts and it's basically proven to yourself that you can do it, it's not as much pressure, you know. But it's just getting towards that first payout, you know. I nearly lost the account, and then I went back to break even. Then I had this unlogged trade which put me another 0.5% into negative. So yeah, this video that I'm gonna record now about logging my third loss is it's a big loss, you know. Like I extended my stop loss because I was married to my buyers. It didn't work out in my way, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go outside, be nice and relaxed. Look at this, guys. It's like some fairy tale, you know. It's like water going down. And I thought I'd find a nice little bench and film a trade recap there. Explain my thoughts, explain my reasonings, and maybe you guys can learn something from it. Maybe just by me explaining things, I'll learn something from it. Yesterday was the loss, but the day before, which was on Monday, today's Wednesday, on Monday I had a break even. So 2 losses, 1 break even, and then another loss. You know, my trading log is just all red right now. You get a lot of conflicting thoughts, you get a lot of doubts. And I thought that I will make a video of what I'm thinking, and maybe some of you guys can relate, whether you're a trader, whether you're just a entrepreneur or pursuing to be like a successful entrepreneur, you know. I think all these thoughts can be relatable. You know, I think we're all in the same boat, especially the ones that are in the beginning stages like me. I think it would be quite comforting to hear the type of thoughts that go through my mind, just to show that you're not alone. You know, if you're like pursuing trading or making a business, whatever, some sort of side hustle. Wow, this is absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's get on the screen and I'll see you guys soon. Let's just ignore all the geese in the background because they are so loud out here. There's a lake right in front of me. So, but to be honest, I kind of like it. The trade that I lost was on Nasdaq. I just replayed some price action here so I can kind of just reorganize everything and just see where everything is at. Okay, so the first thing that I looked at is on the daily time frame. Obviously this gap is still here, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to get filled or not because it's quite far down. But what happened previously is that there's this daily fair value gap here which the daily time frame bounced off of, and I'm like, okay, cool, so now it's gonna make a higher low. So I'm expecting for price to go to equilibrium, right? This is just a confluence that I use, so I was like, I might as well mark out the equilibrium. Then this liquidity here, you could see liquidity here, so I'm thinking that it's going for that daily fair value gap here. So these are all places of interest that I think price will go to. So then I go to the 4 hour and I see that it's in a downtrend, right? You could see here, low low, low high, boom, break of structure. I marked out the 4 hour order block, which is in the dark blue. Then this is the London high of that session. So London session highs and lows are very magnetic for price to take out. So I marked it out as liquidity here just in case, you know, just so I don't forget. And then I could see this double top here. So I'm like, okay, so there's reasons for it to go up and there's reasons for it to carry on going down, because it's in a 1 hour downtrend, it's in a 4 hour downtrend. But if we take this liquidity, we can look for reversals so that it comes back up here into the 4 hour order block to carry on the move down, if that makes sense. So I was open for both ways. I just wanted to see what price action reveals to me, and we will see what it does. On ES, it's obviously the same thing, and I believe it took out the liquidity here on the 4 hour first. I mean, on the Nasdaq first. Yeah, you could see it took out that liquidity there on Nasdaq first, which I don't really know what to think, you know, because for me it's like, okay, it took out on Nasdaq, but it hasn't on ES, so I'm expecting ES to carry on going down to take it out, or that's not always the case. It might take out liquidity on one, and then not on the other, and then, you know, carry on. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just go back to the 15 minute. And guys, like when I make these, sometimes I might forget something that I was thinking in the moment. It's just like a rough idea of what I was thinking. It's not like always 100% accurate. But I counted that as a 15-minute break of structure to the upside, because you can see that just, oh, what happened? You can see that just broke structure right here, just above. And then you can see this slam down happens, which gets me all confused. And I believe that breaks structure. Yeah, that breaks structure to the downside. So I'm like, okay, that is weird. But the thing is, like, in my mind, I was expecting this to carry on going down to hit this 1 hour order block that I marked out. That was my target. This 1 hour order block, and then this 15 minute order block here. So I'm like, okay, if I take a short, those are my targets. So then what happens? Break structure to the downside on the 5 minute and the 15 minute. And as you can see, I mark out this in the blue order block, this 5 minute fair value gap. And then this green line here is the imbalance on the 4 hour, right? So, but you could see later on it did exactly what I thought it would do. It went up and spiked on the 4 hour order block after taking out this liquidity, which just took me out, you know. And the thing is, like, I know these things. Like, this is the most important thing. I understand why I lost. You know, if you don't understand why you lose, then that's something you need to work on. I understand why I lost, because price action took out this liquidity and then it spiked up into this 4 hour order block, you know. Which, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video, which is what I assumed was gonna happen anyway. But I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know what I was thinking in the moment. Maybe I was just stressed out or something. I just wanted to get some profit because I've been fluctuating on break even for such a long time on this account. And I didn't really hesitate, you know. My confluences presented themselves and I just took it. You can see this double top here that I marked out earlier also got taken out. And I think it is just like lack of experience in the markets, because I was just getting frustrated. I was like, I don't know what's going on, you know. Price action, price broke up to the upside, then it broke down to the downside. I'm like, which way do I go? And I think the only thing that kind of swayed me to go short is that the fact that on ES, as you can see, this liquidity still hasn't got taken out, and I was like, I want this 1 hour order block and the 4 hour and the 15 minute order block to get taken out as well. And all the confluences presented to me to go short, and without hesitation, that's exactly what I did. And I think that's a very good habit to have, you know, just not hesitate. If it happens, it happens. If you lose, you lose. But I think I need to be a bit more patient with being more confident. If anyone remembers what this confluence is called, let me know in the comments. But basically, you can see this purple box here is when there's a imbalance on this side and there's a imbalance on this side as well. That creates like a very probable gap of reversal as a very, very magnetic place for price to go as an imbalance. And I just basically color code everything. For me, blue order block, yellow fair value gap, purple this very magnetic fair value gap, which I can't even remember. And then I make like the inverse fair value gap orange. But yeah guys, literally what I saw is retrace back into my order block, order, you know, in the equilibrium and everything, all of my imbalances. And then I looked for a 1 minute break of structure, which happened here. High, 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 low, high, high, boom. Break structure right here. I enter, goes into profit a little bit and just pursues to spike me out. My original stop loss was here. And the reason why it was here is because Top Step fucks me up with their scaling plan. I'm only allowed 2 contracts, and I think either the stop loss was shit or like the take profit was shit, and I couldn't use more than 2 contracts or whatever. And I just had to make it here if I wanted to risk only 0.5%. But then I was like, bro, this is like all my confluences are in line, hit all my confluences, all the imbalances, then a 1 minute break of structure. I'm like, I was very confident it was gonna go down and hit this order block here. So then I just extended it somewhere here. Where was it? There we go. And it just carried on bending me over. So it definitely was very frustrating, very, I felt very angry and just stressed out, and I'm like, bro, maybe trading isn't it, and it's just, I don't know, like, I'm gonna make a separate video of like the type of thoughts I was having. Maybe a lot of you guys can relate, but that's pretty much what I saw. Hopefully my next video will be about some money being made. We will see if we can catch any shorts today, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video.